Well, something was going on, and I didn't know something was going on. Other people were telling me that I was different. And looking back now, I can say it was denial. But at the time, I just I just couldn't put my hands around it. So what I was actually doing was I was going to work every day and performing and being on time and being neat and being well dressed and coming home and drinking tons of alcohol and cutting myself and taking pills and then calling life crisis, and then when they get there say I don't want them, and then this happened for quite a while. I don't know, maybe for a 3 month period, and I ended up in the hospital. And the weird thing was I worked at the hospital and it was not received well. And they really talked to the social worker at the hospital about they talked to the social worker at the hospital about letting me go from the job. And the social worker came and talked to me, and I'm like, well, if I lose the job, then what do I do? If I messed up now, wait till I lose this job. And eventually I did lose the job and went into full nervous breakdown mode. I mean, I was severely depressed, majorly depressed, and just kind of like taking sleeping pills like you eat jelly beans. The whole process in the hospital that first time was extremely scary because I kind of felt like there's a part of me who felt like everybody else here is sick or crazy and I'm not. Why am I here? There was another part of me that felt like, is this who I really am? And if it is, can I accept it? There was another part of me saying, if this is who I really am, at least now, this is the way I'm going to stay, or am I going to get better? So that first day. I tried to work out what was going on wrong in me in therapy. The problem was I never could find a therapist who I felt really understood me. I think some of it in hindsight was my fault because I was so guarded about every little thing and I was scared to say what was really going on that was wrong. And so that's not a good rapport if you're holding back. I went to another health department and it was recommended, and they said it was a lady you should meet. And I met her. She was a therapist, and she'd been in the business 40 years, and yada yada. I'm just like, okay, let's see. The minute I looked at her, something felt different inside. The minute I looked at her, I didn't have any preconceived notions. I didn't feel like I wanted to hide anything. I just felt like I got questions to ask this lady. She knows something. She knows something. And she said, my name is so-and-so. And I said, I'm Bunky. And she said, I heard a lot about you through the day program I was in. She was very, she was saying a lot of good things about me. And so I heard them and let them all go out the window. And I just looked her straight in the eye and I said, can you really help me? And she looked me back in my eyes and she said, I can help you help you. Maybe 10 years of therapy. And she taught me how to help myself and love myself and believe in myself. And yeah, I think before I even knew what the word stigma was, I was definitely someone who was a victim of it. And I thought going to a stigma workshop really saved my life in some ways because, like I said, all the things that people said, actually, I believed them. And I thought that they were saying these things because they were true, and no matter how much I wanted to be a good person or a helping person or this, that, or the other, I still had a problem and I was bad. And these people could see right through it. So that's what I was living with for a long, long time. And then when I was in a room and the topic was stigma and everybody had an outpouring of how different things hurt them, I'm like, I'm not the only one. So that was a breath of fresh air. And then I'm like, but people are living better lives now. So I had to take a whole bunch of anti-stigma workshops to get where I am. I really want people to hear that, number one, recovery is possible. Number two, there are people out there who care. And there are people out there who understand. Please don't give up. It takes time to find the right person or the right people. And I say that because it took me a long time. And even though I might have thought I gave up, obviously I didn't. When I talk to people in my office, I look at them really good and I listen to what they say and I try to pull out all those strengths that they don't see. And then at the end of it, that's what I give them back. And cause I'm like, well, how do you think things went? Well, this, that, the other. I said, but do you know what I see in you? What do you see in me? I see somebody who really wants to make a difference and don't know how. I see somebody who really wants to be on their feet and needs a hand up, you know? And not everybody believes it because people have been going through all this stuff where they're kind of beaten down. But some people wake up a little teeny bit at a time. Like you see a little teeny flower come sticking through the dirt and just, that camera can make it go all fast? Well, it don't happen that way in real life. It happens extremely slow, but you get to see that growth. And then when the person comes back 5 years later, after you probably forgot them, and say, I've had a place for 2 years. I'm married. I have a kid. And, they're reaching their goals. That's change to me. And growth. The long, hard journey is worth to be where I am now. It truly was worth it. It was hard. It was ugly. It was painful. It put me and a lot of other people through a lot of different stuff. But I'm at a very good place, I believe. I really do. So, yeah, I'm in a good place now. And I definitely love myself. I can say it. Yay!